Hey, welcome for another great video. Today I'm going to talk about quality of life. We all have a quality of life, and most people don't know exactly what the best quality of life would look like. So I'm going to go over a series of tangibles, things you can visualize to improve your quality of life. And it's very important to have specific tangible because most people, when you talk to them, say, "Hey, how could your life be better?" They say, "Hey, if I could make $1 million, my life would be better," right? And yeah, that's nice. We can dream about being a millionaire or making a lot of money, but what's really important is the end result of not just making more money, but also other quality of life, non-monetary, non-numbers. In other words, not numbers in terms of $1 billion or 5 million, whatever. Let's talk about the tangibles we can get once our life goes to the quality of life that we wanted it. So I'm going to give you several tangibles to really look at what I'm going about to say and try to picture those because these are tangibles you can picture. And it's great if you're in an environment where you're in an influential environment where you're trying to influence other people to find out where they're at. So here's a few things that you may get or think about. So one of the tangibles is, let's say if you're working in a job and you want a better quality of life, you want to have more time for yourself. Maybe you like your job, but you just want to have more time at home with the family. So one of the tangibles you could say, you know what, I want to fire my boss. Maybe that's what you want to work from home or work from wherever you feel like it. Not having a boss telling you what to do all the time, right? That could be one of your motivations. Here's another one, spending time with family, right? That's a tangible, you can visualize that. Pay off mortgage or debt free. So every time you go to look at your mailbox, you see a bill coming in. No more, right? You don't want those bills coming. You can actually visualize that, and you only have like people marketing stuff like for sales and things like that. No more bills, right? Imagine that what your mailbox would look like if they had no more bills coming in. That's a tangible you can visualize. Here's another good one. Helping others, like family, community, like going to them, like you don't have a job anymore, so you can go to, let's say, a hospice or senior home, or even where you have kids that may be mentally challenged, and just go and spend time with them and help them see where they're at. This is a tangible. This is improving your quality of your life. Or another good one is going to the gym, eating healthier, right? Being healthier in your spiritual lives as well. This is improving your quality. You can actually visualize these things happen. Taking care of your parents, for example. Maybe they're a distance away. Maybe you could go physically meet them or actually have them move in and live with them as well. Because remember, they're going to go away one day, right? Having enough retirement funds so you're not depending on a measly pension, right? Let the government give it to somebody who can't afford it. If you can make enough money and you could actually pay off your pension, what that would look like, right? Maybe getting a nicer vehicle, that's something you can visualize. What color would you want it to be? How big would you want it to be? What kind of car, if you had your ideal vehicle, what would you like make it look like? You can actually picture that. Having a better house, meaning that you could have a house with an extra bedrooms for your office, what that would look like. Maybe having a library in there. You can actually visualize this and having books in your office, what that would look like, right? Maybe you could have the window facing the south side so the sun could come in. This is all you can picture, and you're actually, when you're creating a picture like that, you're getting it tangible in your mind. Okay, having enough what I call quality of life in terms of having more time with the people that you may not even know, like who are mentally challenged, kids, for example, who have cancer, spending time with them. That time means a lot to them. Maybe bringing them a toy or something that they could learn from. Imagine you're going there and you write a check to the orphanage saying, "Hey, here's a check for $1,000," and the kids reach out to you and they hug you. That is a tangible you can visualize, right? And look at it this way: if you have kids, being able to attend your kids' recitals without asking the boss, "Can I go home early and I want to go spend time with my kids?" They may not let you go. You don't need permission for them. Here's another good one. No more waking up to a sound of the alarm clock. You wake up when you naturally get up, right? So you may have that kind of, maybe if folks are maybe working a lot of hours and you're tired, right? You may one day just want to wake up when you feel like you want to wake up. Like, think about that. I've had some people even tell me, hey, they want to smash their alarm clock because the sound you get in the morning and hit that snooze button, that's a terrible feeling, right? So that is no longer in your life, what that would feel like, right? To be able to remodel your home and increase its value. Think about that. There's some people who are living that are living out there, and they're just living the home that has maybe leaky roofs or has have to put up with it. So imagine what that would feel like if you had that all fixed, right? And look at yourself in the mirror and you see the boss. That's a big thing. So instead of, look at it this way, instead of spending 40 hours a week at your job, you spend 40 hours a week with your kids and your family and doing the things you want to do. That's a different shift. So there's no problem with making a shift like that as long as you're willing to pay the price, right? And there's a good one. Not looking at the price tag when you go shopping. You look at, you like the color, you like the size, you like the way it feels. You just go to the cash and you pay with your card. You don't even worry about what it's going to cost. Now, you may look at the price tag, but you don't get alarmed by it just because it costs 5 times more than what you think, because you have enough cash flow coming in. That is quality of life. When you go to the restaurant, look at the menu. Somehow, most of what are we doing? We're looking at the price before we look at what we want to buy, right? So imagine you could look at what you want to purchase, what you want to eat, then you look at the price. And some of the high-end restaurants don't even put prices on because they know people can afford it when you go to a restaurant like that. This is all I wanted to say, is to look for the tangibles. When you want to improve your life, focus on specifics. When you focus on specifics, you generally can find a way to get it because it's clarity. A person who has clarity has a better vision. Somebody who just says, I want to improve my life. What does that really mean? All right. With that said, I'll talk to you in the next video. Make it a great day.